The year 2002 is often remembered as a golden year in cinema, with a multitude of remarkable releases that appealed to diverse audiences. From the captivating charm of Catch Me If You Can to the epic journey of The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, the emergence of superhero culture with Spider-Man, and even the childhood joy that Lilo and Stitch provided with lovable, animated characters. It absolutely had something for everyone. The age of early action movies was exploding onto the scene as well, creating many franchises and continuing others. Many rising stars were hopping on the trend with the likes of Matt Damon, Leonardo DiCaprio, and the star of today's movie, Tom Cruise. Even though his career began almost 20 years earlier, Tom Cruise found himself in the midst of success, the Mission Impossible franchise. This success paved the way for his collaboration with fellow heavyweight Steven Spielberg, who himself had enjoyed immense acclaim for films like Jurassic Park and Saving Private Ryan. The two would actually both be in the 2001 film Vanilla Sky, which saw Cruise as the protagonist and Spielberg as a party guest. The reason I bring this up is because the next year, the two would be tied to a very popular movie that would serve both of their careers, and be the only time they would work together as actor and director. That 2002 movie would of course be Minority Report for those unaware. Their collaboration in the film promised a potent blend of Cruise's adrenaline-fueled action and Spielberg's storytelling prowess. A $350 million box office hit that would receive praise for being a thought-provoking and action-packed film. A brilliant mix of what Steven Spielberg and Tom Cruise represented in the movie industry. Except it wasn't. It just can't be, because it was impossibly mid. Minority Report disguises itself as a deep, thought-provoking action movie that twists the viewer's mind and challenges their viewpoint. Unfortunately, it's simply not. Minority Report is just an action movie. Just another Tom Cruise movie that embodies his high-stakes, adrenaline-fueled mission to save the world. It's Mission Impossible in disguise as a sci-fi mystery thriller and nothing more. It may be something of a shock that I'm going to be attacking a film as renowned as Minority Report, given the pedigrees of both its director, Steven Spielberg, and its leading man, Tom Cruise. Just remember, it's essential to acknowledge that differing opinions on movie qualities are part of what makes the world of cinema so fascinating. I was honestly just too disappointed after reaching the conclusion Minority Report presents in its uneven experience. The narrative is just such a roller coaster of expectations, with the eventual revelation leaving me feeling very unsatisfied. The movie is replete with plot twists and inexplicable characters, but paradoxically, it often fails to maintain a consistent sense of urgency and climactic tension. Instead of evoking the profound, thought-provoking atmosphere it promises, it frequently lapses into the familiar territory of an action thriller. After multiple viewings, it becomes evident that the film adheres to a somewhat formulaic structure in which the hero triumphs over all odds. In hindsight, Minority Report stands as a potential missed opportunity to differentiate itself in a year that saw the release of groundbreaking films like The Matrix, American Psycho, and The Departed. While these movies left an indelible mark on their respective genres, Minority Report struggles to stand out. It could have leveraged its captivating premise, exploring a future plagued by the ethical dilemmas of pre-crime, free will, and surveillance, to craft a visionary film. Instead, it treads the safe path of a traditional action thriller, leading it to be somewhat overshadowed by its cinematic peers, especially in the eyes of a new generation of viewers who have experienced the many movies that have come after. So, what defines Minority Report? The film's legacy lies in an attempt to delve into complex and prescient themes, particularly in an era where the pace of technological advancement continues unabated. Adapted from a short story by Philip K. Dick, renowned for his mind-bending narratives, the movie's themes of pre-crime, free will, and surveillance continue to hold an enduring relevance, even 2 decades later. However, it is also evident that the film fuses these thought-provoking themes with the signature action style of Tom Cruise, making it somewhat challenging to cater exclusively to viewers seeking an analytical or contemplative experience. To further understand my point, let us delve into the heart of Minority Report, acknowledging from the outset that opinions on the movie can vary widely. While some see it as a deeply flawed work, it's important to remember that it has its share of admirers. However, for those who view it critically, the film's potential is a tantalizing concept left largely unfulfilled. The central premise of Minority Report is one of the most intriguing facts. The story unfolds in the year 2054, within the United States capital of Washington, D.C. At this point in time, the pre-crime police force has been operational for 6 years and is posed for national expansion. Their method is groundbreaking, aiming to apprehend murderers before they actually commit the crime. This raises the profound moral dilemma of whether one can justify imprisoning someone based on the act that hasn't yet occurred. The program is a marvel in some respects, with precogs, which are individuals gifted with the ability to predict future through images, and they obviously predict murders, consistently proving their accuracy. However, as the story progresses, a darker side to the system begins to emerge. John Anderton, portrayed by Tom Cruise, heads to the pre-crime division and initially seems to have unwavering faith in the system. After all, precogs have not been wrong in their predictions so far. This trust in the system leads to the arrest of individuals for crimes they had yet to commit, placing them in a state of humane coma. So, the question arises, is it justifiable to incapacitate individuals for crimes they haven't committed, robbing them of their productive lives? The film effectively prompts viewers to ponder this ethical dilemma. The narrative of Minority Report then takes a pivotal turn when precogs predict a murder involving none other than John Anderton himself. He initially tries to conceal this revelation, but is eventually exposed and finds himself on the run. This event marks a significant turning point in the story, as Anderson becomes suspicious of the system he once passionately supported. The narrative unfolds further as Anderton investigates a past case, one in which the victim was saved but mysteriously went missing days later. He had conducted this research upon the precog's insistence, even as she communicated with him through a medicated state. During the manhunt against him, Anderson goes to Dr. Iris Heinemann, the former geneticist behind pre-crime development, who unveils a shocking truth. The precog's abilities are the results of brain damage caused by their parents' addiction to early impure forms of the drug known as neuroin. Dr. Heinemann reveals that one precog, who goes by Agatha, stands out as the best of the three, with the unique ability to produce a different version of the visions from the other two inferior precogs. These occurrences are known as minority reports and have been covered up in order to keep pre-crime successful because it would leave two outcomes. These revelations, along with the stunning revelation that pre-crime's director, Lamar Burgess, is aware of the flaws in the system, thrust the film into a new light. The film loses some of its momentum with this revelation because it transforms the narrative from a moral quandary into a more conventional tale of Tom Cruise's character challenging a corrupt system. The ethical debate seemingly evaporates, replaced by the clarity that an inherently flawed system cannot be relied upon to determine individuals' fate. It raises the question of why the creators chose this particular course for the narrative. While it provokes deep contemplation in the first half of the film, it eventually veers into more familiar territory, where the hero battles against a corrupt system. For me, this transition represents a missed opportunity to explore much deeper theming than a typical Tom Cruise movie that this has become. While Minority Report certainly has its shares of flaws, it is important to acknowledge its strengths as well. The film does feature compelling character developments and twists that add depth to the action-packed narrative. Agent Danny Whitworth's skepticism and investigation into the pre-crime division offers an effective means of introducing audiences to the intricacies of this futuristic system. His pursuit of John Anderton adds a layer of tension and intrigue to the plot. After it is predicted that Anderton is to murder, Whitworth is tasked with hunting him down before he kills. While looking into Anderton's movements, he is tipped off and actually begins learning about the Minority Report that Anderton was previously looking into. One of the standout moments in the film is the revelation that the victim in the Minority Report was indeed murdered, a revelation that shatters the facade of infallibility surrounding the pre-crime system. Whitworth's dogged determination and eventual discovery of this fact shed light on the corrupt underbelly of the system. After Whitworth manages to come up with evidence that a murder did in fact take place, he goes straight to the director of pre-crime, Lamar. Unfortunately, this would be a big mistake. After a cold dialogue that makes sure we know the precogs are not working because Anderton has kidnapped Agatha, Lamar shoots Whitworth in his chest.
The precogs can't see a thing.
Looking him in the eyes, Lamar finishes him with a bullet to his head. A scene that perfectly sets up just how cold Lamar is. A man willing to do anything to hold on to his creation, no matter who it hurts. Lamar's hubris ultimately becomes his downfall, as he cannot accept the flaws in his brainchild. After all, the generic Tom Cruise action, it comes down to just Lamar, Anderton, and a gun. At that moment, the precogs release an image and display the name Lamar Burgess. It's at that point that Lamar has lost. If he kills Anderton with the gun, then he goes to prison and loses everything. If he doesn't kill Anderton though, then it just shows everyone that precrime can get things wrong, which would leave Anderton the savior still. And so with so much climactic buildup, Lamar finally makes the only decision he has left. He puts the gun to his head and pulls the trigger. Completely unable to fail in any way, he takes his own life the same way he took so many others for his own benefit. He's not a supervillain with extraordinary powers or a menacing robot suit. He's a man driven by insatiable desire to preserve his creation at any cost. Lamar's willingness to sacrifice lives for the sake of his ambitions makes him a truly memorable and morally complex villain. Minority Report is a film that undeniably sparks contemplation and debate, encapsulating both the promise of a groundbreaking premise and the pitfalls of adhering to conventional storytelling. Its engagement with complex themes such as ethics of precrime, free will, and surveillance set it apart from the run-of-the-mill action thriller. The film's richly detailed setting, the year 2054, and a morally conflicted Washington, D.C. offers a thought-provoking backdrop that remains deeply resonant in an era of technological advancement. Yet, as the narrative unfolds, Minority Report relinquishes some of its intellectual depth in favor of a more conventional Tom Cruise-driven hero versus the corrupt system scenario. This transition somewhat diminishes its potential as a thought-provoking masterpiece, relegating it to the realm of entertaining action cinema. The film's shift in focus mirrors a recurring issue in the movie industry, promising concepts that failed to reach their full potential. One such example can be found in the 2012 movie Prometheus, a film that had the ambitious goal of exploring the origins of humanity, but ultimately left many viewers unsatisfied due to the resolved questions and plot inconsistencies. In the end, Minority Report stands as a captivating yet imperfect creation. It invites audiences to question the moral and ethical implications of a pre-crime system, but it also succumbs to the allure of an action-driven storytelling. It truly becomes a reminder that even with great ideas, the challenge of maintaining thematic depth and originality through a narrative can be daunting. It remains a testament to the complexities of storytelling itself, where the interplay of strong characters, thought-provoking themes, and compelling plot twists can lead to both moments of brilliance and instances of disappointment. I appreciate anyone still watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Good or bad, I don't care. And I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.